Okay, I'm gonna turn off the music anyway. Sorry if that was a little loud for anyone trying to listen. So let's get going. Okay. So I've got the game up here, and we actually, I forgot about a bunch of stuff. A lot has happened this week on the development of the game. So let's see, Neo. I think somebody called me Neo, and I have no idea who Neo is, but maybe I look like some old Smasher back in the day or something. But no, I am new. So yeah, we added a. I don't remember if the music switch was on, but we have a temporary kind of music switch. And yeah, sorry, I don't know. We also have the possibility to enter the debug mode, which gives us the ability to basically see where the hit bubbles are that determine if your attacks are hitting each other or not. So that's really interesting, and maybe I'll show some of that while we're playing. But I think I'll start with just basically playing with the two characters that I'm sure all of you have been watching are very familiar with at this point. But then wait a second, I pushed the start button. Wait a minute, and whoa, something different happened. We have 3 stages. Granted, not 3 very complicated stages, but now we have some in there. So you know, maybe I'll stick around on one of these stages a little bit later. But we'll just go to the stage that we've already built, and then the music starts. All right, so you can see immediately when I jump and move around, I have this neat trail following me now. Yeah, hopefully this is showing up in the screen pretty well. But like I can definitely tell it's probably going to be a little bit slower because I am running at you know 60 frames per second basically right now. So keep in mind if it's chugging just a little bit, this is running at the full frame rate. And I actually did a lot of optimization with the graphics and everything over the past week as well too. So yeah, you can see we've got this neat effect going on. And when you attack somebody, you know, they move as well. So it should be noted right now that with Chai, the female character, I don't have it set up right now to be on her weapon, but that's going to come in time. I just need to program more stuff in there to have the effect work with it. But for any of you technical-minded people, the way it kind of works is actually, I mean, for those of you that have played like other fighting games, like I'm just going to use Soul Calibur as an example, there's usually a trail that follows the character's weapons when they attack. Yeah, it's come a long way since Evo. We still got a lot more work to do, but it's coming together, little by little. But like I was saying, Soul Calibur has these motion trails for your weapons, and what we're doing is something kind of very similar to that, except we're basically creating motion trails all over the character's body, and using those and capturing basically pixel data point on the texture for the character to determine what colors are going to follow the character moving on the screen. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of work, and I mean, a couple weeks ago I redid the animations. Oh, I forgot. Chai, you may notice she's showing up a little bit nicer now. I also went through and got her materials working better and everything like that. So we're going to experiment with, you know, basically my kind of thoughts are, I'd like to have, I'll probably tone down the effect a little bit on the motion trail when you're just kind of like running around and doing things like that. I'd always like to have like some little bit of it because it really does enhance the idea that, you know, you're moving and this is a quick game. But I do think it would be really cool to have maybe make the effect a little bit more noticeable or broader when the character's actually like performing an action like an air dash. I mean, you can see it right now, but I think it would be cool like if we had more going on there with it. Yeah, it is a bit much. So what we're going to do is, you know, like I said, my plan is to basically kind of tone it down just a little bit. And I mean, it's not, you can, if the character's moving slow, you can't see it. So part of it is just, I need to condense the amount of, I can't think of the word for it. Basically make it so that the faster you move, the more it shows up, and the slower you move, the less it shows up. So basically, if you're barely moving, it's not going to show up at all. Yeah, but I mean, my idea too as well is we'll have additional effects for all these attacks, because like if you look at melee and everything, when you do like a smash attack in particular and everything, there's actually a lot of effects going on, even when you're not hitting anyone. Whereas like with us right now, it's very much we don't have like a whole lot going on. But now that we do have this ability to attach a you know, a particle to when the characters are getting hit, I think we'll be able to pretty soon add effects and everything on the character's actual moves. So yeah, we do have the ability to edge grab. Granted, we have to do a lot more kind of work with our edge game, because right now our edge game is basically, how can I put it exactly? The only option you have is to push back and jump out of it, so that's going to change in the future. But yeah, you can actually guard the ledge, and then the other person can't get a hold of it. So yeah, we did add Fox's, or I should say Falco's down there. But he does have, you know, the typical traditional other attacks in their arsenal. So I guess maybe I'll switch to the other character. Sorry. Gotta calibrate the controller first. So you'll see it's not on her weapon at all yet, the effect, but even without it, you can see like just simple things like her doing her attack up. You can see it on her sleeve of the trail, which is really, you know, it is really helpful when you're playing to see what's going on. It looks really cool when she's spinning and everything in the air as well. So, air dashing actually doesn't have invincibility frames. We decided that we wanted to, you know, that was one of the things we wanted to differentiate from melee and, you know, Brawl and everything like that. We still wanted it to push your momentum, air dashing, but we wanted it to be a little bit more of like an approach sort of thing, as opposed to what's it called? More of like an invincibility dodging sort of thing. So, like for instance, I was messing around with something earlier. What was I doing? Okay, yeah, you can actually with the air dash as well too. I'm sure most people are kind of sick of me talking about this, but from a aerial attack, you can actually cancel into an air dash, which is going to allow you to kind of chase down people. Of course, it's really easy for me to do right now when there's no one affecting the trajectory or the directional influence when you're being hit, because I'm just playing against, you know, a dummy person right now. But there's a lot of cool things you can do. Like I was trying out earlier this thing where I was basically doing my up air, if I can do it, and then I was able to air dash and cancel into another one and follow up. Come on. Yeah, well, maybe I won't do it right now, but yeah, we still got more work to do with, you know, a lot of things with the game, but it's starting to show. Certainly, like compared to what we showed at Evo, the game's looking better, it's playing better. Granted, we still need to do like a lot more playtesting and everything, but you know, just little touches here and there have been really really helping things feel nicer. So that's been really cool. Let's see. Why does she have purple particles from the up air? Actually, what you might be seeing is his motion trail. Like if I hit him hard enough. Oh, the purple particle. That's actually our placeholder effect for when somebody blocks. And you know, we're, like I mentioned earlier, we're probably going to change the blocking system from how it is right now. like this little one that's always there, it kind of, I don't know if it's really doing much for the game at this point, so we may see what it's like without it, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing when she hits that that shield, which has a very generous kind of range, it looks like. It's giving me the purple effect. I thought I calibrated this controller. Sometimes if you don't calibrate the controller correctly, you can't fall through the stage. So let me do that really quick. Just gotta hit calibrate, and there we go. Yeah, I have no idea why it got so bright in that loading screen. I've actually never seen that before. It could be because I kind of reduced my settings just slightly to play the game on the stream tonight. Other things we added in. You may be noticing that the camera looks so much better than it did before. And part of that is the fact that the camera actually now incorporates the direction that the players are looking in before they move. So you can kind of see, even though they're at the same relative spot on the screen, the camera's shifting towards where the game is assuming you're going to be moving. And actually, that's in Melee as well too. Just a subtle thing, and in Brawl and everything. It's a subtle thing that like just made a huge difference in terms of how much the game kind of makes sense when you're playing it. Let's take a look. Sorry, I'm kind of falling behind with the chat a little bit. Right now, you don't have to be grabbing the ledge to face it. That's something, I mean, I don't know what our plans are in terms of, actually, let me check and see. I don't even know, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, you can be facing away from the edge to grab it right now. I don't know if that'll change or not in the future. That's something kind of we need to decide on, but that's just how it is in the code right now. It's just easier for us to say if the character's close enough to the edge, then allow them to grab onto it. So, yeah, I definitely, you know, I'm definitely open to, you know, adding some difficulty there to it, because I do think that makes it, you know, that adds a little bit of a challenge when you don't have the ability to have a guaranteed, you know, grab back to the ledge based on where you're facing. We'll see. It all depends. Like, I don't know. We got more to do. Let's see. Are the characters going to be scaled out to look normal? That's on stages. Recommended. Yeah, the camera was, you know, it's really smart idea. Not our idea, you know, that's what Smash has been doing for ages. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I guess in the most recent build, I guess one that I don't have yet, that our lead, you know, one of the leads on the project has, you don't have to be facing the edge. Or you do have, wait a minute. You have to be facing the edge. So, there's just, my build is just behind, that's all. That's all that means. Or maybe there's something funky going on with me. You never know. See, there's a spike. Yeah, we'll probably be, you know, we're still definitely not done experimenting with the camera. Like I said, I feel like we've made a big step forward with the camera compared to the other week. But, yeah, there might be some room to actually, you know, come in a little bit closer once they're at this point. But, you know, we want to make sure that, because last time what happened was we had the camera way too close, and what would happen is you would hit the character, and it was pretty easy for them to go kind of flying out of the range of the screen. And I know that's totally possible in Smash Brothers and everything too, but we want to make sure that there's enough visibility to kind of see what's going on. So, yeah, we do. You know, we were actually thinking, even like in addition to the blur thing for fast falling, it might be cool to actually have an effect to see like, oh, you did actually fast fall at this point in time. So, I mean, I'm all for like taking these things, like even wave dashing and everything, adding some additional effects to it and everything to kind of make it be easier to read when you're actually hitting something kind of correctly. So, so the other thing that we've done, and totally placeholder right now, keep that in mind, but we've added the ability to have swap out additional textures, whoa, for the characters. And they're pretty neon-y colored right now, but I'll be doing some kind of more some colors a little bit more fitting, I would say, in the future, but these are just placeholder right now. But they look kind of cool with the motion effect, so you know, I will say that and everything. So I don't want to play with that too much, considering we got a lot more work to be doing on that. 1 second. Got to relaunch the game to kind of clear that data for the time. Let's see. Yeah, maybe that's not such a bad idea to have some like totally crazy color neon design costume variations and everything. Might be kind of interesting. Yeah. Yeah, if you've ever used Maya or Max or anything like that, and you've been doing like rendering in Mental Ray or V-Ray or anything like that, it's pretty common that when you're working with materials, they have weird colors that don't make sense until you actually render the image. Sorry, that got a little technical and besides the point. Oh, here's the game in debug mode, which is showing you where the hitboxes are, where the hit bubbles are, and all that fun stuff. And you know, we do need to do more work with our hit bubbles, because right now we can only have like one hurt bubble per joint. So we need to expand on that in the future. But you can kind of see what it looks like when we're testing the game out and checking for all this stuff. Let's see. You can actually see, because of the way that I gather the motion trail color data, it's based on the pixels on the screen of the character. So you can see, like, I don't know how well you can see it in the stream, but she's actually got some like yellow in her trails from these drawn kind of circles and everything. So I mean, one of the differences we do have from Smash from a technical standpoint is we are testing our hitboxes in 2D instead of 3D. So Smash actually has like 3D hitboxes for, or 3D hit bubbles for all the attacks and everything. And we wanted to take that to 2D to kind of avoid situations where the character may be moving in the background, but they still should be technically capable of being hit, but they're not, because in the 3D perspective, the spheres don't overlap the way they should. So that's something we're trying to do to increase the kind of precision of the way attacks hit in the game. So yes, yeah, some characters. I mean, I've heard that it's more of an issue in Brawl, but I'm not entirely like super familiar with it. It's just something like I've heard from Eric, you know, the guy that one of the people working on, we're in charge of Project Dam and everything. But that was interesting to learn. Really interesting to learn. So, you know, we're trying to, you know, it's nice that the Smash community is such this massive resource of all this information that we can basically go there and, you know, talk to people and, you know, ask questions and you know, you guys, you know what you're talking about, and you know, as a developer, it's a relief to have, you know, support like that. So it's really awesome, and it just makes me, you know, enjoy making this game that much more. Let's get off of debug mode now, and I'll just play kind of regularly again. Oh, oops, forgot he's got different colors too. So there, we've got our neon pink Tesla. But hey, at least actually he looks kind of cool like this. But yeah, you can see no more problems of the same character having, you know, the same color and all that fun stuff, so. So yeah, if I hit him, I can go up again. Let's see if I can try and juggle him like that really quick. Yeah, it's got too much percent now. But you can see how there's totally a lot of like abilities to chase down your opponent and everything with the air dash canceling. Yes, he does have the Falcon knee, if I can do this correctly. Yeah, but yeah, he does have the knee, so I'm just not the best with him, so keep trying to hit it, but only problem is that shield like keeps getting in the way if I try and hit him on the ground, so it's a little annoying, but that's why I eventually just want to turn off that shield, even if it's just for like development purposes, so I don't have to, you know, worry about it too much. Yeah, his jumps are pretty high. You know, we're still adjusting things and everything like that, but I'll make note of that, and we'll, you know, we'll probably be tweaking the game more and more from its as we continue to stream and everything, so. Oops. Let's move her. God, I have no idea why it's so bright. Because normally it's only like a very... normally it's a very small light that happens in that main screen, but... Yeah, so is there any more questions or anything like that? Let me catch up with the chat a little bit. Let's see. I personally want to remove that little small active shield. I think that needs to kind of go away. So, I mean, it's just a matter of, you know, creating a flag that the programmer can basically say, I want to turn this on and off, and then we'll test it and we'll see. But I have to say, like, it is one of the things that would be really nice, if just like beating up a dummy person, like, that we could do. So, you know, hopefully in the future too, I can get somebody else to come in and play the game with me and everything. So it's not just me, like, dicking around with, with this, you know, CPU that's not really CPU. We're in training mode, how about that, so. I'm trying to think, what else have we done? Because I think there's even been more this week. Yes, let's see, Knockback looks really weird. We want really fast and high, and then they just stop. Yeah, there is, let's take a look at that really quick. Probably at higher percents, it's more of an issue. Yeah, what I would like to do is I would like to basically, like, take some footage of Melee and take a character that we want. I mean, not that it needs to be exactly identical, but basically it'd be really cool if we took some screens of something in Melee and then tried to see if we could replicate what happens in here. Like I said, not that we need to make it perfect, but if we could at least get it pretty close, like side by side together, I think that would be a huge step forward in terms of having something to kind of work off of. Because right now it's very much like we've just been like tweaking stuff, and I'm sure that, you know, I haven't been in charge of like the balancing and stuff like that. I'm mostly technical art and art, so mostly like I did the motion trails and shaders and environments and Tesla, one of the characters, and all that stuff. But I'm really not like this is something that the game designer and everything can probably talk about a little bit more. Let's see. And our music is dead. Guess I just need to get her off and then. But it is. So let's go back and I'll play as her as well, and then we'll just see those crazy colors again. Yeah, I'm still more at home working on. Yeah, they're working on the movement and everything. Let's see. Oh. Let's go. Yeah, sorry to hear about your wrist and everything. Like that doesn't sound like much fun at all and everything. Let's take a look. Let's see. Yeah, I'd like to see that kind of change too. I mean, I really want to see I want to see that stuff a little bit smaller on the screen than it is. Like I felt like kind of Brawl, they were pretty massive. Like the bottom information on the screen. So whatever we do, like I want it to be super visible, but maybe take up just like a little bit less screen real estate. So right now, yeah, it is a little small, but I do think that is something to consider as well. You know, HUD is something that like we don't have at this point, like we don't have like a dedicated UI artist or anything like that. And you know, at some point, you know, it's either one of us will start doing more UI work, or maybe we'll bring somebody on board to help with that. But that'd be kind of nice to see. That would be very nice to see, is some like HUD that kind of matches everything else that's going on. And maybe we can try and do some unique stuff down there too as well. Let's see. Yeah, and I want to make sure again, you know, I do this every stream, but thanks to Clash Tournaments for hosting, and you know, make sure you check out all the cool stuff that they've got going on and all their whole tournament schedule, and you know, they've been doing a lot of articles and things like that recently that have been really interesting to read. So yeah, definitely look at what they're up to and everything. Let's see. Let's see. Can Tesla change his dash direction mid-air compared to Chai? I don't know. I think they're both the same. It works, the air dash and everything works the same, I believe, for most characters at this point in time. Yeah, they're basically the same. I mean, I believe their values are different, a little different for the characters. Like, I think she kind of lingers a little bit longer in hers than he does in his. Let's take a look. Yeah, he's a little quicker. One of the things that reminds me, another change that was made was Tesla in particular doesn't like hold as long as he used to in his air dash. So yeah, that was one change we made, and I think it feels like a little bit better feels like you're a little bit more in control with him now. So that's nice. Yes, we do have wave dashing. It's a little easier to do than it is in Melee. Actually, if you push them like almost at the same time, or close to the same time, I don't even have to really push a direction, because the air dash automatically pushes you forward. Like by default, when you push it, you go forward. So you can actually you know, do it a little bit easier. But I still like just do it the traditional way most of the time. So yep, we still got more work to do and everything. What happens? Let's see. Yeah, we're hoping. I mean, because there's still a lot, you know. Like what happened at Evo, you know, when Wobbles came by and played the build and everything. There is so much that like already things that like we haven't explored as the developers, that, you know, you get somebody who's played Smash, you know, hundreds and hundreds, well, not that we haven't either, but you get somebody like that in to play the game, and they start discovering new things like immediately off the bat. It's pretty ridiculous. So that's been cool. Yeah, she can combo, so with her forward and then down. I could see some pretty nasty things coming out of her neutral attack. Yeah, so let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's very much, I'm not going to say it's like identical to Melee, the wave dashing and everything, but like, yeah, if you can do it in Melee, you can do it in this. It's basically like the timing, like there may be, if anything, there's a larger window to do it, which means it's pretty easy to do. Granted, we're not like looking to make it exactly the same, like super identical, but we want it to, at least to the, you know, it's got to be playable, you know, and it's got to feel familiar enough to people that, you know, are used to Melee. I don't know. I mean, we want to do new things with the game, but we want it to be like familiar and new and fresh at the same time. You know. Missed that. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, you can also match. Guess I'll be Tesla again. And as you can hear, we also have music cycling. We got the same song, so let's try and get a different one. This always happens to me, like whenever I want a new song to play, it always plays the same one, but so how about not having any load times for stages? Is that kind of cool? At some point that may kick in, but like right now, like it's literally, you know, a few seconds. But maybe that's because we're not like running off of a CD or anything like that, so. Oh, I'll have to play on one of the default stages as well, or one of the test stages, so you can kind of see what the game looked like. You know, I would say even, I don't know, I didn't make this stage till like really kind of late in the development. Maybe like, I want to say like maybe a couple weeks before Evo, I started building this, because we were like, well, we just wanted to have a test stage at first, and I knew I didn't have like the time to make like one of the stages that we had already, you know, from the concept art. So I just started with something super simple, and you know, put some rocks in the background because they're pretty easy to make, and yeah, it needs work and all that fun stuff, but let's see. Yes, Tesla has the knee. Of course, it blocked when I tried to hit it, but that's like been the story of today. There we go. Oh, I forgot about that that funky looking move that I added in. But it looks cool now that there's Now that there's oh, that's right, that was one of the other changes from the other way. Now you can hit with both, so I don't know, just experimenting with it. If it doesn't work out too well, we'll ditch it and we'll go with something else. Alright, let's go to the the ugly looking stages. So sick of that song in particular just because it's the one that we've had the longest with the game, so this is without the motion trail effect on it. So you can kind of see how different the game, like, I'm sure on the stream it probably makes an even bigger difference because you're like losing frames and everything when I'm playing. But yeah, it looks a lot more kind of stiff and everything without some kind of blur to what's going on, so. Let's see. Yeah, we have new temporary placeholder textures for for both the characters, and they're both like super neon and super like red and different colors right now. But you know, we'll be going in and probably doing some different ones in the future. But it's nice being able to play with two characters and know which one you are. So it sounds so simple, like so basic, but it is really nice to have. So yeah, this was one of our early test stages that we had. Really early. So yeah, I mean, we basically, like, my thoughts are basically we just need to like tone down the motion blur on some things, or the motion blur effects. It's not really motion blur because motion blur works, you know, a lot differently than what we're doing. But you know, I like it because I like that it's not motion blur and it doesn't behave by those exact same rules. Of course, you're not seeing it at all now while I'm talking about it, but you know, it makes a big difference. Like, it makes it go from looking like an early game in progress to something that looks a lot more fluid and it's also really helpful for like attacks that normally were like, what's going on with that attack? Now I can actually see its path and its trail and everything. So yeah, we need to. Actually, I don't know if the wall jump is back in. I think it is. Whoa, there was a glitch there. That was strange. I've never. Whoa, there it goes again. Some sort of weird graphical glitch that popped up while I was trying to do something on the edge. Yeah, I don't know if we have it in at this point, but you know, we'll definitely be putting wall jumping and stuff in there. So, and we'll have moving platforms. Like, actually, one of the really nice things about like the whole lighting system and everything I coded for us, is that everything, all of our lighting in the game is dynamic. Which that is the case as well for Smash Brothers and PlayStation All-Stars and games like that. But a lot of like video games today, if you're at all like up to speed with graphics trends and everything, they do something called pre-baking the lighting, which is either saving it out to a texture or storing it in different information, so that they don't have to calculate all the lighting at runtime, because it's way too expensive to get like super accurate lighting and everything. So what we have is like, we have a lighting system that's like, it's a step above, certainly a step above like what Brawl uses, and I think even PlayStation All-Stars, what they use. But it allows us to get these really good, you know, looking, like, especially like the ambient lighting that happens in the game. It looks really good for a game that's capable of having dynamic moving platforms and everything. But that's certainly something we want to do. It's just this stage is kind of like our test stage, so it's a little bit more bland, I would say. But you know, yeah, I've been working hard on getting our graphics tech and everything like up to I mean, I'm not going to say it's next gen or anything, but it's certainly. I'm using a lot of techniques that a lot of big AAA titles use on the consoles right now. So. Yeah. Well, like our animator Nick last Sunday was streaming as well, and he was going over. He was working on actually some of Tesla's animations because that's the next thing. Like, well, I mean, we need to kind of figure out a little bit what our priorities are going to be. You know, like what we need to really like focus on and tackle next. But that is something, you know, we obviously like to do is get some throws in there. So. Let's see. Get some throws in there, get some like nice effects and everything going, because we don't really have that. You see that there? I was able to jump, do my neutral air dash cancel, and then hit him with another neutral air. So kind of an example of some of the things that you can do in this game. But obviously it's going to be much harder to read an opponent in order to do something like that. But like at EVO, we were having people that were basically going and attacking and then canceling, using the air dash cancel into a knee. But it's harder to do with a human opponent and everything. So. Let's see. Yeah, you can ask those questions about animation. I mean, I'm not technically an animator on the project. Well, I've done a little bit of everything. So I did actually do some animation for Tesla as well. Like I did this like drill kick sort of thing that you see here, the Falco down air. But yeah, feel free to ask away in terms of, you know, questions about animation and everything like that. The mini shields right now are basically like, imagine your bigger shield is smaller and then you can actually block with it. But we're debating like whether we should leave that or not, because it kind of gets to the point where blocking happens unintentionally pretty often, and it almost seems like it's kind of random. And this is something like that was happening like going back to EVO and everything too. But we'll see, you know, what happens. You know, a lot of it is that we've, like, the programming's been focused on other things as well too, and, you know, all that fun stuff. Jump at pretty specific angles. You mean by, like, off the ground you can only jump in certain angles, or... Let's see. It is analog. I mean, your trajectory is analog based on, you know, what you're doing. But there is, you know, yeah, his first jump can go pretty ridiculously high. Like I think maybe we need to. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not looking at Tesla and like seeing the difference and everything. So it'd be really cool, like if we could, once we get grabs in there, to basically like throw someone down, air dash up onto the next platform, hit them with an attack, or air dash up and grab them again, or something like that. Like I could see that kind of stuff being really cool to do. Because I know, like, I say that like because I was just thinking about how, you know, Wobbles does that thing where he grabs the character with one of the ice climbers and throws him up, and then the other one jumps up to the next platform and grabs him. So I thought that was like really cool. I don't know. I haven't seen enough like advanced level ice climbers play, so when I saw that at EVO, that was like really, really cool to me. So. Yeah. No, I'm just bad at it. That and like, you know, we still got more testing to do and everything like that. But really, no, I'm just bad at it. I'm more comfortable with Chai than I am with Tesla and everything. And it was kind of that way at EVO too, when we were all playing each other and everything. Because that's the thing, like, because we're all working over the web and everything like that, it's very rare that everybody working on the project actually gets to play each other. So, you know, at least at this stage in development. Let's see. Yeah, actually, I was watching some ice climbers playing and everything, and like I was watching you know, that last tournament that happened and everything, and like it's been a while since I've watched some high level Brawl, but like after watching the ice climbers play in that game, because I remember like when I was dicking around in Melee, one of the things that I would always try and do is like get one ice climber to run and grab the other one while you're throwing, and I saw like tons and tons of that going on in Brawl, and like I was really surprised to look at like the tier list and everything and see that they're not like super high up there or anything on the tier list. Is there like a reason for that, or is it just like the metagame has just started to evolve in Brawl, where the ice climbers have become like super viable, or maybe I'm not aware of all of the our second now. Wow. So they're climbing quick, aren't they? Yeah, I was looking at some lists that just seemed really out of date because they were like really. I felt like they were pretty low on there, but I could be just misinformed, I guess. But yeah, tons of which makes total sense. Like, you know, but you're not able to wobble like you can in Brawl, can you, with ice climbers? Yeah. They're overrated. All right. Maybe I'll play just a little bit more on like. We'll go to the other temp stage, and then, you know, this one has the ground's missing in the middle. But there you go. There's your smaller stage. And there I just edge grabbed and killed them. Yeah, it's a little funky to play on, so. Let's see. You can train grab infinite instead of wobbling. Yeah, that's what I figured that there would be. There was basically a chain grab like infinite, which makes sense considering, you know. Well, I guess I'm playing with this song. It's not that I dislike the song, it's that it's just the one that I've been hearing, because the other ones just got added in like a week ago, whereas this one's been around for a little while, so. Yeah, I'm used to I'm used to hearing the same song like played a lot working on a game, like because I was working on when I was working on Dance Central, like I mean some of the music was okay, but a lot of it like wasn't what I would typically like listen to. So hearing like this music I didn't like, a lot of it I wasn't like a particularly huge fan of, like Justin Bieber and everything playing all the time. It got a little annoying, but you just kind of had to, you know, bear with it and work on the game as much as you can. And I wish I could have been around for when they were working on Beatles Rock Band, because I don't think I would, you know. I'd probably get sick of the Beatles by some point, but it would take me a whole lot longer than Justin Bieber. So yes, this game is 3D. It's not like 3D. It's 2.5D. But yeah, we wanted to keep it familiar to what we enjoy about Smash Brothers. Yeah, we should add in a way to. I think that should be like up on the priority list. Is actually having a button to switch songs. That would be fantastic. That would be almost as amazing as the button to exit to the home screen. Like that was like when we added that, it was so so incredibly helpful. So. All right. Well, I think I'll finish this match, and I think I'm gonna call it a night. I mean, not that I've done any like super hard work or anything tonight, but I want to leave. You know, I don't want to like overplay the game, I guess, without Otherwise, it's gonna start looking like the same game, even though we've had updates and everything like that. That, and I'm getting hungry, and it's time for dinner, so we'll finish this up. And what do you know? The music ended already and everything. So, cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and I hope there was some new people and everything tonight. And if this was your first time, welcome. This is Air Dash Online. We are a group of Smash Brothers fans that decided to go out and make our own kind of competitive platform fighter. And you can find us at air-online.com, our Facebook as well, Facebook and Twitter. We really appreciate any likes that you give us because it really informs us about, where we stand with our outreach and everything like that. We do have a character that's coming up that's going to have some influences from Samus, Zero Suit Samus. So, yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for Clash Tournaments, as always, for being such a generous host, and check out what they're doing. Check out what's going on in the Smash community. If you've never heard of competitive Smash before, it's certainly I'm a huge fan, and I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't. So I guess that will be it for tonight, and enjoy the rest of your